Hi everyone, it's Anja here and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks, and today we are at week 6B, our last video for our Lizzie Cal. And we are doing the second part of the border. So last time we did the border called Mr. Darcy, and it was the slip stitch round and the back border that we did. And today we are going to finish our border by doing our front border and by closing it up. So you are of course working on this. You are trying this out on your sampler like I am showing you here. But you are working on your actual blanket with all your ends hanging out. So you've got to sort of look at it like this with all the ends there as well. So at the moment it looks rather messy, but I promise you, we are not going to be sewing in any ends. So towards the end of this session, towards the end of this video, or towards the end of your blanket making journey here, you will have the satisfaction of seeing all those ends just magically disappear. Okay. But before we do that, I just want to say I've only done 2 rows here. Okay, you are doing all these rows here apart from the khaki one. Okay, so you're doing 5 rows for the front, and now we are doing 5 rows for the back, and then I will show you how to do the 6th row. But of course here on my little sampler there's not much point in me doing 6 rows because look, it would be far too big. So let's get started. So we have here the blanket facing us with the 2 strands of the V facing us, and the color that we are using here is duck egg. So I've got my duck egg here, and once again I'm just doing a slip knot, inserting my hook, and I'm going to get started on doing a row of half double crochets, and you can get started wherever you want. So you yarn over, you go and you pick up both the strands of the V and you do a half double crochet. Once again, it's not that easy to pick up these 2 strands because of course you have already used that 3rd strand on the other side. Okay, now you will notice that we have used mocha for our slip stitch round, and you can't tell that we've done that in the blanket, you see. So it's a color that sort of disappears. Of course here I have done it for effect, so with the mustard you can see very clearly where it is, but then that's what I wanted to do for the tutorial, of course. So you are going to place a half double crochet under every V, and the ones that you have designated as corners, which you have used as corners on your back border, you're going to use these as corners on your front as well. So there we go. So that's the row. Now I have here my stitches of my corner to do. So I might as well remove this one because it's in the way. So I know I have to do my corner in this stitch here. 2 half double crochets, a chain, and 2 half double crochets in there. And of course for you, your reality will be a lot more ends hanging in the way. But like I said, they will disappear later on. So don't get annoyed with them. So make sure all your ends are lying in between your 2 borders. So make sure they don't sort of come out on this side. They should all be nicely in between the 2 borders here. Yeah, 2. So once again, go to the blog, get the pattern, get the list of colors, and get started. I will see you at the end of this row. And I'm going to do a slip stitch, not into the standing stitch, but into the next one. There we go. And so now I am going to start my second round, and that is a double crochet. So the first 2 rounds are the same color. You're doing a round of half double crochet and then a round of double crochets. Of course, go to the blog, find out what the other 3 rows are, because your border, your back border and this border as well, consist of 5 rows each. Okay, so complete those rounds, and then I would like to see you back to do the magic. We are going to do a closing round, and that will hide all our ends. Okay, so I'm just finishing off my second round here. Oh my goodness, why did I just cut it off already? Never mind. Do your slip stitch. And that's the end of that round. And then of course you're doing another 3 rounds here, but I am going to stop here and I'm going to show you how to close up your border. But what you also should do here, as you can see, you've got this end hanging out, so just go under a V there, bring it to the back so that your end lies in between here. So all your ends are positioned in between your 2 borders. Okay, to the khaki, because that's the color we are going to be closing our border in. And of course this time you can't just start anywhere, because your stitches are going to have to tally up. So I suggest you start in the corner chain space, because you know where both corner chain spaces are, and you do a corner. So you do a corner of single crochet, another single crochet, a chain, and another 2 single crochets into that chain space there. And then you are going to have to look at the top of your stitches and make sure that they tally up. So you are going to see this one here is a stitch that I have to pick up, and then here as well. There we go. And you do a single crochet. You pick up both the loops of both the adjacent stitches. So under the V here, under the V on the other side. And again, this row is going to take time, because you can't just push through. Look, I've got 1 strand here, but what happened to the second one? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so you must make sure you are picking up all those strands to ensure a good finish. And each side should tally up, because of course you've done the stitches based on the slip stitch, and you've done those on both sides, so that should tally up. So when I get here, it should all work out. If it doesn't, I just make it work out. I think on my big blanket, the 3 sides worked out, and then the 4th side I had 1 extra. Don't know why, but there we go. I was not going to worry about that. I just made it work out. And of course, this is where I only have a few ends, of course, but this is where you will see that all of a sudden, yes, look, this is closed up. There's no end inside. And of course, here you are closing this up and all your ends will be in there. Of course, you've got more height, but you also have a lot more ends. So I am just going to continue doing this until the end, because of course I can see you thinking, yes, but there is an end here, and you're going to cut off another end. So there'll be two ends to deal with later on. Okay, so I will show you what to do with those. And here we go. So I am just doing my last stitch here, and as you will have noticed, the few ends that I had are all gone, so they're all in my border. And of course I've got two ends here, so let me just show you what to do with those two ends. So first of all, slip stitch to close your round, then cut off your yarn, pull it out, and it will be easier for you to do this in your wider border, but what I do is I go into the border like this, and I come out just below where this end is. I wrap it round my hook, and I carefully, because you might snag on something inside, if you feel that, stop straight away, pull it through there, and then I do it again. So I pull the yarn into the border just like this, and of course you've got strands there as well, so you might get a little bit twisted, but it does work. And then the same thing here, I go in, try and wrap around the strand. See, yeah, okay, yeah, that was fine, like this. So yeah, like magic, you can make those last two ends disappear, and you can just pull them into the double border like so, and they are gone. So for this blanket and for my big one here, I did not sew in a single end. And here, this sampler, I do hope you have enjoyed making this as well, because it gave me the opportunity to to show you really well how to make this. And of course now I have this one here, and I think I might finish this one off for little Ophelia, of course, so she has a Lizzie blanket as well. She's going to be pleased with that, isn't she? Okay. I do hope you have enjoyed this KAL. Please go to the Facebook group if you need any help, but of course also that is the place to show off pictures of your project. I would love to see your finished blankets, or even your blankets still in progress. There's no rush. Make this at your own pace. The videos will be here for you. Thank you so much for taking part, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!